Eddy March Brand parachute. I've got a 3x long curved nymph hook on this, but we are going to use it for a dry fly. Start your thread. I've got 10-aught, I believe, yeah, 10-aught Vivus rusty brown or whatever it is, not black, not white. Micro 5ettes. I'm going to grab 6 of these guys. Grab them off the side here, yoink them off. That keeps all these tips straight. I'm going to match the shank length. Tie them in good and tight here. Wrap my thread all the way up to the thorax. Give her a clip and then move it back down. These bugs are pretty thick, so I'm not worried at all about too much thread buildup. Actually, you kind of want it. You want to build this up a little bit. So I'm going to take 3 per side. So lift it up, lift up your tail. That will separate it. You can separate 3 per side now. I'm just going to run a little figure 8 through. 1, 2, and now that separates the tails like that. This not only adds, you can see it's separated, it's not only adds kind of a truer form of the bug itself, but it also adds stability as it rides on the water. Next step, grab some yellow tying thread. This is 6/0, and the reason I'm using tying thread and not floss is tying thread is color fast. So when it gets wet, it'll remain the same color. And I'm going to take it, double it over, and double it over again, so I've got 4 strands. I'm going to roll up my fingers here and get this tied in. Okay, just like that. Forget about it for now. I'm going to take a turkey biot, one of the longest ones I can find here in the middle somewhere. It's a pretty big fly. We may need 2. We'll see how it goes. Tie it in on the tip. And move our thread up to our thorax here and start wrapping this up. Trying to keep it as, see, gosh, you got to be really careful on the tips of these. Most of the time, if you try to get it too skinny, you break that tip. I'm going to try it again. This is a big fly, and so I was really kind of hoping to get that extra wrap. We'll see how it goes on round 2 here. You got to be really careful of the hook points on these as well, because it'll break them really quick. So one trick is to wrap it and then use your finger to hold it, and then you can get around. I think we got her. Alright, tie it off. I love feather-bodied mayfly dries. Okay, now I'm going to take, the realism is just awesome on these. So I'm going to take my tying thread now, I'm going to spin it, make it an oval, and I'm going to reverse wrap it. So every wrap you want to respin, because it'll come undone on you if you don't. Okay, we're going to tie that off now. Looking good, looking good. Now you could do a quill body if you wanted to and UV it and make it look all fancy. I'm not a huge fan of putting UV on my dries. It adds a ton of weight, and it's kind of counterproductive to what we're trying to do here. It just adds a ton of weight. It really looks cool, but there's no buoyancy. It won't soak up floatant, and it adds a ton of weight. So our wing, actually we're going to throw on our wing case here real quick. Alright, we're going to tie in the back, for lack of a better term, even though that's a dry fly, we'll call it a wing case. And I'm going to use a piece of 2mm foam that I've cut down. And I like white. White really stands out against the kind of the dark days of March browns. We're usually, you know, spring. There's nothing typically, I mean, unless you're fishing foam lines or whatever, but the white really does help you see it against darker skies, grayer skies. Yellow kind of tends to blend in, at least for my eyes, the way I see. I can really see white the best. So tie that in, and then leave it towards the reef. Forget about it for now. This is a piece of mallard dyed wood duck. I've taken the tips, hold the tip, and just bring everything down like this. Okay, and then hold it at the bottom. We're going to tie it in this tip going forward. Measure your body length against, not this way, but against your point, right where you separated it. You're going to measure your body length. And we're going to tie it in right there, up on the top. Cut all these guys off. Right against the foam there. Alright, now, tricky part. I'm going to face this towards the camera. Hopefully you can still see that clearly. I'm going to split these into wings. So I'm going to grab one side of the feather, pull it down, there, you can see that wing, and take the other side, do the same thing. Take the middle, bring it back, tie it down, and clip it. I'm going to figure eight these. I'm going to leave these little wispies on in case I need to manipulate these wings at all. Tie in a dubbing loop. Bring my thread in front of the wings. I'm going to take coastal deer hair. got some coastal deer hair. Don't need it to be in a stacker. It's okay if it's a little rough. Put it in the dubbing loop. I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to want a few turns of this. I don't want it all to clump. Get our length back, because this is going to be our legs. You see how this is all starting to go kind of erratic? That's exactly what I want. Clip some of these butts, trying to get them a little contained. We're going to spin this up. Just like that. Cool. Move our deer hair back. I'm going to get 2 turns in the back. One and, well, let's see if maybe I can get, maybe I can do 1 and 1. We'll do 1 in the back, 1 in the front. This probably wasn't quite long enough, but that's fine. The effect will still be there. Okay. Once you make your wraps, tie it off. Take the top here, split it. Bring our wing case, our foam wing case through. I'm not pulling real tight, I want to create a little bubble. Pull it up tight, clip it, tie it in. And we'll finish with just a little bit of dubbing. Finish. Now we have a little bit of trimming to do. Alright, we kind of manhandled these wings pretty good. We're going to bring our wings back to where we want them. And all this deer hair on the bottom. Splay out, and I'm going to just clip straight down. And any deer hair that's not cooperating with you, just cut it out of there. This adds a lot of flotation, also represents legs. We're going to clip our little wispies off here. And there you have it. Seems pretty technical. I guess it is kind of technical. It's really, this is one of those flies that really looks tougher from a picture than it does tying it in reality. So don't be afraid of this one. It's actually pretty hard to screw up those wings. So give it a shot, and we'll see you around.